All right. Welcome to episode 2 of Back to Basics. Today we're learning about fat. Nothing like cracking a cold can of olive oil. All right, for the sources of fat, we have butter, oil, seeds. But we are going to be learning how to become a pro cook, one chaotic lesson at a time. People always make biscuit making look so easy. What is going on? So if you're new here, hi, I'm Maria. Welcome along on this journey of us learning how to be better cooks. Okay, we're gonna start off first with a bacon carbonara ramen. For the ramen, we're gonna be going through emulsion and the creamy because I want the whisked eggs and mayo to give a nice delicate creamy bind to the rest of the dish. Okay, let's start with the base. So we're gonna do 1 egg, about a tablespoon of mayo, some Parmesan, and the soup base packet. So in a bowl, you're gonna combine the 1 egg, about a tablespoon or so of mayo, and then we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. I did, like a few springfuls. I don't even know what the term is, but like a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, and then I did the soup base packet, and then we're gonna mix until it's like thoroughly combined, no clumps, because you want it to be the emulsified creamy texture. Next, I cooked some bacon, put it in a cold pan, and then threw that on the stove. And then I made my topping, so I just cut up some mushrooms because I only had 1 egg for a topping, so I gave that to my husband, so I had mushrooms. I made some green onion chops too to put that on top for some garnish. Very good. There's my crispy bacon. A hair crispy or hair too crispy for sure. I'll admit it. Left it on maybe a little too long. But in the same bacon fat, I cooked my mushrooms in. Gotta get that flavor. Back to our base, I poured in the noodle water that I cooked the noodles in, and I put in this ramen packet, it had like another seasoning packet, so I just poured that into the noodle water too, which is why it looks kind of like brown. So I'm just mixing all this in. You want to do it really slow because you don't want to like cook the eggs in a way. Like I don't want scrambled eggs, so you have to slowly add the warm or the boiling water in and then vigorously mix it as to not cook the eggs. You just want it emulsified and creamy. Here's my epic fail of me trying to put noodles in aesthetically into the bowl. I could have left it out, but I was like, no, let's show that it's not perfect. This is my second attempt. I give this second attempt definitely a better score because I still kind of made it in the bowl. Not aesthetically pleasing as I'd like, but So after I put the rest of the noodles in and some of my water, I put the dried flakes in, mixed it around a little bit just to get rehydrated in the boiling water. It doesn't take that long. And then it was time for the toppings. So I put my bacon, I put some more cheese on there because why not? It's supposed to still be a carbonara. And then I put the green onions. Oh, looks so good. This is my husband's one, so this one doesn't have the mushrooms on it. And then, of course, the perfect jammy egg. Drum roll. Look at this thing. 6 minutes in boiling water is all you need, and then you put it in an ice bath to get it like jammy. So 6 minutes. Then you get this like delectable jammy egg. So good. And then I topped it with some more sesame seeds, and she was good. She was delicious. It was amazing. Okay, really quickly, I'm just going to show you in this next one. I made my bowl next with the mushroom without the egg on top. But I just want to show you like through a really quick run through that this meal is really easy. So if you are coming home and it's late at night or whichever time and you're just exhausted, this probably can take you like 15 minutes. Like you just have to boil the egg or the noodles, and that takes probably most of the time. Like to mix everything together really doesn't take that long, or to get all the ingredients prepped doesn't take that long, and you probably already have most of this in your house. So this is a really nice like meal to make at home if you want something kind of decadent, like with the bacon and the egg and the cheese and everything. Like it's really nice. And then you can like obviously change out the toppings. You could do mushrooms, you could do another like broccoli, you could do anything that you have. Okay, Jalapeño Popper Biscuit time. Let's go. So first I made this like kind of accordion contraption thing to cook the bacon. I seen that online. Did it work? Yes. Was it the best? No. Was it my fault it wasn't the best? Yes. Then I got my jalapenos ready. So I had these in the fridge and I was like, perfect, because I need to use them. So that's how I thought of this biscuit. So I'm just putting it in my pan with some olive oil and some salt. And then I got that roasting. I put these in the oven at 500, I think. Roasted 500 for maybe like 15 minutes, just so I can get some char on them and get them to soften up. I didn't want raw jalapenos in my biscuit. I wanted the charred taste of it and like it to be softened, so that's why I roasted them. You can definitely just do the raw jalapenos if you don't want that taste. For the main component, the butter, the fat. So I put this in the freezer and now I'm gonna grate it, but I'm gonna put it back in the freezer after I grate it. You want this butter pretty much like ice cold to put in the dough, because that's what's gonna create the steam, the layers, the fluff, like the whole thing. You don't want this butter to melt before you put it in the oven. So right here I'm just grating the frozen butter, but then I'm gonna put it back into the freezer while we prep the rest of the ingredients. So yeah, just grate my butter. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the actual base. So I got this recipe from the kitchen. I think she made a cheddar scallion version, but I'm using the base recipe of the flour and the butter and everything. So I will link in the description where I got the base of this biscuit recipe, so in case you wanted to make your own version. So first it was, I think, 2 cups of flour, some baking powder, baking soda, salt, the main components of like the base of the biscuit. For the cheese, I went with this Cracker Barrel extra sharp yellow. I wanted something that was sharp and that you were gonna really taste it. And for some reason, when I think jalapeno popper, I think yellow versus white cheddar, but go with whatever you got, go with what you wanna use. So for the most important part here for this whole recipe is we have to give the taste tester a taste to see what he thinks. This is Finn, by the way. He's my coworker, he's my assistant. Okay, our bacon is now ready, so I'm just gonna chop it up and I just put it in the bowl with the cheese because it's all gonna be dumped into the mixing bowl with the flour mixture anyway. So I'm just chopping it up. I'm not being too particular because it's super crunchy, so it's crumbly already. Okay, for the jalapenos, I got them out from being roasted. So what I'm doing here is I'm just getting the skin out and then some of the seeds and everything, and then I'm chopping it finely. But it's important to note that after I did all this prepping of the jalapenos, I actually put them in the fridge for like 10 minutes just so that they were completely cool and didn't have any warmth to them, because same thing like with the cheese and everything, I don't want it to melt the butter. Okay, now it's time for us to make the biscuits. So first I have some of the frozen butter that I grated and put it in the freezer. Mix it in with the flour. Then I added the bacon cheddar cheese mixture, my jalapenos. All of these were in the fridge. All these are cold. Mix that together again with the flour and the butter. Then we're gonna add about like a cup of buttermilk. And then just do like a nice thorough mix till it gets kind of like a really sticky dough. Then I floured my surface, floured the cutting board, put the dough on. So now this part is where I think you could do better than me. So I floured the surface and I rolled it out, but I wish that every time before I re-rolled it, I floured it again. So now it's time for me to like make the biscuits. So I didn't have like one of those like cookie cutter thingies, so I just used my measuring cup just to create like the circle to put it out. Again, if you floured it better than me, it will definitely like come across the cutting board or come off the cutting board a little bit better. Since this is a video about fat, I thought, why not try a fun little experiment to see if the different fat on the top makes a change in like the browning and everything. So we're gonna do the top 3 with an egg wash, the middle 3 with butter, and then the last 3 with buttermilk. and see if that makes a difference. It might make absolute no difference and they all come out looking exactly the same. Okay, so on the top ones, they were the egg wash. And then these ones were the butter, and then these ones were the buttermilk. I think the egg ones definitely are a bit darker, and these ones are a bit lighter. Again, I don't know if it's because these ones were like towards the back of the oven that they got warmer. Okay, it's time to test the biscuit. So funny story, when I woke up today and I was like, I'm gonna make something, bake it, maybe because it's the fat video, and I was like, biscuits, never made biscuits before. It was a cold, gloomy, gray day. I was like, oh, warm biscuits would be great. It's now like 82 degrees and it's sunny, which is great, but also the oven was at like 450 and I was like, I'm dying. I'm gonna talk a little bit about my thought process with biscuit. So it definitely could be thicker if it was all on me. Like if I just made them thick to start, like they were definitely thin to start when I was like doing it, because in the recipe, she's said that it can make like 15 biscuits. So I was like, oh shoot, for this dough to make 15 biscuits, I gotta spread it out. But it could probably make like 6 fat biscuits if that's what you're looking for. Then if you can see that there's like the cheese and everything, but there's definitely some like flakiness and layering. If I had made it a thicker biscuit, if I made a thick biscuit, it would have showed. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We're gonna try to get through a lot of these like back to basics, learning new techniques, trying things I've never done, and cooking together. So come along this journey with me. Please like and subscribe if you like this type of content, if you like to have some entertainment watching me fail in the kitchen. It was great to have you guys along with me today. Made some biscuits, made some ramen, really got to get into some fat. So see you guys next time.